Good day, everyone. Welcome to our music lesson. And for this week, we will continue our topic, which is all about timbre. So now, let us start our discussion. Each voice and instrument produces a distinct sound quality. So now, we will going to learn first about the vocal timbres. Voices may be classified according to quality and range. Quality refers to the characteristics of the voice, and range pertains to the pitches that the voice can produce. The human voice may be classified as female voice, male voice, and also child's voice. The high female voice is called soprano, while the low female voice is called alto. And the high male voice is called tenor, while the low male voice is called bass. And treble refers to either a young girl or a young boy with an unchanged voice. So now, class, let us proceed to learn about the musical instruments. So there are 4 family instruments. The first is the string section, second is the woodwind section, the third one is the brass section, and the last one is the percussion section. So first, let us learn about the string instruments. The string instruments have the greatest versatility and expressive range. They produce tones that are brilliant, rapid, and slow. The strings are usually played with a bow across the string or by plucking the strings with fingers. So the bow is a slightly curved stick strung tightly with horsehair. So here is a violin. It sounds closely to the human voice with a lyrical singing quality, producing a brilliant tone. The next one is the viola. The viola is built on the same lines as the violin but is slightly larger. It produces darker, thicker, and lesser brilliant tone. Next is the cello. It often plays intense, soaring melodies and supplies harmonic foundation. And it produces a deep, warm, and mellow tone. Now, let us discuss about the woodwind instruments. This class of musical instruments requires you to blow into a specific wind instrument by following an order to ensure that the sound that you desire is produced. An example of that is the piccolo, and this is what it looks like. It is known as flauto piccolo or small flute. It is a half size of the flute and the highest pitch orchestral instrument. It produces a shrill, piercing, and whistle-like tone. Next is the flute. So it is capable of producing rapid succession of tones. The flute is an appropriate instrument to imitate the chirping of birds. The next one is the clarinet, and this is what it looks like. Its tone can be vary from a low, dark, sonorous quality to brilliant high pitches. And this one is an oboe. It produces a nasal twang and sad tone. The oboe is specially used in classical music, film music, and some genres of folk music. Next is the bassoon. It plays the role of tenor and bass, and its tone can be sad, funny, or hoarse. Next is an English horn. It produces a nasal melancholy and mournful tone fitted for pastoral tunes. Now, let us discuss about the brasswind instruments. The brass instruments are made of brass. Tone is produced by making player's lip vibrate. One example of that is the tuba. It provides the foundation for the bass when playing the bass line in loud passages. And it has a low, thick, and powerful tone. Next one is the French horn. It has a conical tubes curved around for easy handling and playing. Its tone is mellow, less brassy than the trumpet. Next instrument is the trumpet. It produces a high, brilliant, and brassy tone, and it has a cylindrical body flared into a bell. Now, let us discuss the percussion instrument. A percussion instrument is probably best defined as one where a resonating surface is struck by the player either by hand or by some form of stick. There are two classes of percussion instrument. The first is the pitch percussion and the next one is the unpitched percussion. So first, let us learn about the pitch percussion. One example of that is the xylophone. It is a percussion instrument that can play melodies, and it produces a dry, wooden sound. Next is the tubular bells. These are also known as chime bars or chimes. These are metal tubes of different lengths that are hung from a metal frame and struck by a rawhide mallet. And they produce a church bell sound. Next is the unpitched percussion. Example of the unpitched percussion is the bass drum. It often used for special rhythmic emphasis, and it produces an awesome booming and thundering effect. Next is the cymbals. These are two round metals that are clashed together with a sliding motion or struck by a stick to make a sound, and they produce a sharp clashing sound. And lastly, the maracas. It is made out of hollow gourd filled with pebbles, beans, seeds, or beads. It makes a cheese sound if shaken fiercely and sounds similar to rain if shaken slowly. So now, class, you have learned about timbre. So I hope you learned a lot from our topic for this week, and that's the end of our music lesson. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!